Hello. Okay, so I've been showing you around. You've seen a couple of things around my house. But every time I come on here and I do a Hobbycraft takeover, I realise that I never actually show you how I make things. And something that I always show when I come on to Hobbycraft is using their copper wire letters, because these are great, and you'll see these crop up in loads and loads of Insta posts, either completely plain. Some people have customised them, and I made this one for my daughter. This one used to have pom-poms on it, but my daughter was very, very young. My other daughter was very young when I made hers, so she pulled them all off. So I've been meaning to get around to actually doing another letter for her, and I thought, well, now's the time, and I can show you how I do it. So we'll go through briefly how to make pom-poms. I've got several different ways of making pom-poms. Some of them you may have seen, some you may not have seen before, and then also how to attach your tassels to get the nice swoopy thing. And I'll show you how I actually hang it on the wall. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. And how I actually hang it on the wall so that you don't have to drill any holes, which is really, really simple. Okay, so to get started, I've been using what's in my stash that I know that comes from Hobbycraft. Okay, so I've got some red shiny dancer. This is really lovely. You can see it's slightly pearlescent, super squishy. It's got a slight halo to it. I've been using this a bit to make some slipper socks, which you can go and see if you go over to make.e. It's the last plug, I promise. So there you go, that's the Shine Dancer. I had to use this because the other yarns that I've chosen are Hey Baby, but they don't come in red, but they do come in yellow, green, hang on, blue, how does a rainbow go? Blue, purple, and pink, like this. Okay, so with my Shiny Dancer, ta-da! It's going to be sort of more of a pastel-y type rainbow. Can you see? Like this. And then some clouds, also in Hey Baby. I love the Hey Baby yarn by Knitcraft through Hobbycraft. It's probably my most favourite sort of sport baby weight type yarn. It comes in gorgeous, gorgeous colours. Really, really easy to use, and super squishy. Just how you want baby clothes or baby booties or baby hats to look, you will get the exact look you're looking for using this. But it's in my stash, and it makes a beautiful rainbow as well because it comes in gorgeous colours. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to do pom-poms first, because you need a cloud for your rainbow to come from. That's what we're going to hopefully put on here. Now this could go horribly wrong. It could go amazingly well. Let's see, shall we? So let's start with pom-poms. So first of all, if you haven't used, and I'm sure most of you have used pom-pom makers, they come in two parts. I know that Clover do them. You can get those through Hobbycraft. These are my own set, and they come in different sizes. So these are the teeny tiny baby ones, and then these are the next size up. I don't want to have too big a pom-poms. You might, for me, not today. And also a fork pom-pom. That way you don't need any kit, you just need a fork and some yarn and some scissors, okay? Everyone on board? Good stuff. Okay, so let's start with a pom-pom maker. I've just got to now find my end. This was a really good idea, wasn't it? I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna cut it for time and ease. Nobody wants to sit here and watch me trying to find an end. So I'm using the white Hey Baby yarn, and I'm going to make a medium-sized pom-pom. And the idea is that I'll make several of these to make a cloud and then attach them to my, I might use phonics here because both my girls are kind of learning phonics at age. So if I say curly k or k instead of a c, please forgive me. I'm sure we will be moving on to using actual adult language at some point. But for now, it's a curly cur. Okay. I really didn't show you how to do that, did I? Let's start again. This is me going into make mode. So basically I have put them together so that these little prongs stick out, and you connect them by one side has got holes and the other side has got like little half things, and that sort of holds them in place so they stop sliding around. And you put them together and you keep them open, and you hold onto your yarn and you just start wrapping and just keep going. Oh, these are just the best thing in the world. If you have these in your craft stash and you haven't got around to using them, honestly, they are a life changer. You'll be pom-pomming everything from here on in. So they are super simple. They look ridiculously complicated because once you get them out of the packet, they all sort of fall apart and you think, so you just hold them together. And once you start actually winding the yarn around, it will hold its place. So we're going to keep winding and winding and winding. There is another trick as well, which I probably should have given some more thought to before I started, is that if you hold two ends of yarn together, so if you come out from the middle of your yarn and from the outside of your yarn, so you're holding two strands together, you will wind your pom-pom maker. You'll wind that twice as fast, rather than sat here trying to wind up. Niece and nephew, 1 6 and the other 9, love to make pom-pom. They are the best. They are the best thing for keeping kids. In fact, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, because I've made these for the girls' rooms, but they don't have to be just for the girls' rooms. There are endless things that you could use these for. I mean, dare I say the C word, but Christmas is coming up. And what a cool way to have as your place setting, so you know where you're sat, one of these done in the style of the person who's going to come and sit there. How cool would that be? So, and then you can use all your Christmassy colours. You could do paper, holly leaves, and then red pom-poms. Lovely. Or you could even tie on baubles, actual decorations onto them. Cool. So that was an idea. And then talking about kids doing them, that's also an awesome idea, because how good would a kids party be? I mean, how awesome is that? So you give each child one of these. I think these are like £3 each. And you have all your yarn stash, and you have your pom-pom makers, and you have your forks, because I mean, everyone's got a fork, right? And you let them go wild, and they can decorate their own initial. I mean, that will see you good for at least an hour and a half. And then you've got the half-an-hour tea. So that's basically a kids' party. And they've got their party favour at the end. High five to that. Right, so I've moved on to the other side. Now that I've just been chatting. I will show you better with the next one. But I thought, you know, we'll have a bit of a chat first. I'll just go speedily for the first one so we can get the look. Because I have no idea whether it's going to work with the, oh right, it will work with the C, not the curly cur, the C. I haven't given them a go yet. I don't know how to do it, but it's so simple. And I know there's loads and loads of YouTube things on how to do this. It's one of the things that I get asked the most, actually. And a while back, I used to do quite a lot of sort of live videos and things on Instagram. And pom-poms always come up in my makes, pretty much all the time. I made some slip socks for Knitcraft, which is a free pattern on their blog. Little plug there. And that comes with pom-poms. So, yeah, now you know how to make pom-poms. You've got to learn how to make slipper socks, right? Signals going. You might also be wondering why I appear to be sat on the floor. Well, as it is now pretty much autumn, nowhere in the house is getting very good sunlight apart from this corner here. So I tried even with like big lamps. Okay, so I've wrapped both sides. You want to make sure that you don't overfill these bits. That is the absolute key. So don't sort of keep going until they bulge out here. And if you do, you will find out very quickly why that's a bad idea, as I have made this mistake. Also, they won't actually close, and then you're in a whole world of trouble. So stop, just stop, stop wrapping, snip, and just close them up. These ones have got little locks on them. This side's missing, but as I am I'm going self-confessed pom-pom pro, that's a thing. You have to lock them in place like this, and it just holds the two together. So now if you want to put them down, pick it up, it's completely safe. Cut yourself a good length of yarn, okay? Don't be tempted to go short. Go like this, okay? Good pair of scissors is also crucial. These are titanium scissors, good scissors. I know that a few people have got these. I think these are actually gardening shears, but people use them as crochet because they're actually really good, but they've got a nice long, anyway. Find your opening, good sharp scissors, and cut it round. Well, it's really satisfying when you get a really good yeah. The thing is, I find that the kids get really excited with pom-poms. If you've got cats as well, then, and also now it's scarf weather, you'll see pom-pom scarves and stuff. So you cut all the way around like this, and this is why the little locks are really handy, because it doesn't all go and then you lose it all and you've just got basically 2-inch lengths of yarn all over the place. So you want it like that. Take your piece of yarn that you cut earlier and fold it in half. This is my top tip. Okay, now, if you've got some cotton yarn, some quite fine cotton yarn, that's always good to have on side. I don't know how this is gonna hold up because I like to really make my pom-poms nice and tight. Sometimes I can pull too tight and it snaps. But let's just see how we get on. Okay, so fold it in half and you want to lay it through the middle of that gap. So you're kind of almost like flossing through the middle, and you put both pieces through. I'm slightly shaky because I'm nervous doing this in front of you lot. So you end up like this, okay? And then put your fingers through the loop, grab your ends and pull them through. And then you can start to tighten like this, okay? Now this is where it might snap. Oh no, I think we're good. Oh, it's a very, very strong yarn. Excellent. Well done, Knitcraft. Separate your ends. My Instagram page, if you want to come and see what I'm up to in life in general, is at make.e. So that's make.e. And that's me. So you can come and follow me over there. It's mainly crochet. And at the moment, I'm obsessed with star jumper. So if you see a star jumper, you'll know you found the right girl. So split your pieces, split your ends, and then go round the bottom and tie it up at the bottom. Made a large pom-pom wreath, over 40 pom-poms. I feel your pain. I made a Lottie and Albert rainbow blanket, but massive to cover a double bed. And I think I made 80 pom-poms, 40 for each end. I think it gave me blisters. So once I've tied it at that end, I'm going to bring it back around the other side and do the same. You'll hear it click, because remember where I said they had those little half domes? When you really pull your yarn, you'll hear it click through those half yarns. I can hear my husband coming in, so he might say hello. And he'll be wondering why I'm talking to myself in the corner of a room. He's working from home today. So, right, okay. So we've tied that nice and tight, like so. Ta-da! And this is the big reveal. Okay, so find your lock. Where did I go off looking on the wrong side? Find your lock, unlock it, or you'll have two. Mine has lost one, but it's okay because it doesn't really need it. And then look, take it off. Now, I understand that there are bits but that's okay, we can fix bits. Bits are fine. I'm going to trim. I've put a filter on this to brighten it a little bit more because it's so dark. But if these like dots are driving you nuts, just say. In fact, no, keep it to yourself. So I'm just going to trim these off like that, a bit topiary, like this. You can get really obsessive over this because you can make them, see how beautiful these, it makes beautiful pom-poms, like ridiculously good pom-poms, because it's got a slight halo, it's slightly fluffy, so it poofs out, but also it's super fine, so you get lots of strands in, which makes it nice and easy to get a really round pom-pom once you keep, right, I could be here all day. So I've got this. Then, taking my C, and not a curly cap, we've got to choose which way round it's going to be, the front. I tie my pom-poms from the back, because that way you can still see the wire, but it's completely up to you, okay? So separating the pieces, and this is why a good long piece is really good, because you can then wrap it round both sides. This is going to be tricky to show you. Okay, like that. So I've put one round the top and one round the bottom. You see? Like that. And I'm just going to tie that in place. So I'm doing that down here because I don't have a table, I'm sat on the floor in probably the brightest part of the house, hoping that you'll be able to see me, because it's starting to get quite dark, isn't it, during the day? Though the sun is out, but right, we're just going to get into astronomy now, aren't we, with the position of the sun. So once that's tied on, you can position it wherever you want it. So like that, you see? Imagine that, imagine if you did all white, and then you did all of them for the table, for the Christmas table, so they look like little snowballs, and then you had them in front of each place setting. You're welcome. So that's one, like that. Okay, so we just need to make a couple more. Snip that, pop that there. So in case we will need to do that again, I can also show you how to do the double-ended. So let's see if we can, look at this tangle. That's completely useless, isn't it? I'll throw that to one side. I'll show you how to do a fork pom-pom now, actually. There you go. So this is, you need a good strong fork as well for this. This could go horribly wrong, because it does sometimes go wrong. But that's okay, because they're quick and easy to make. Oh, this is another good one. If you're having a kids' party, you can go onto eBay and they do ring blanks. So you get your yarn, and these make lovely, cute mini pom-poms. So the kids can make mini pom-poms, and then glue gun and glue it onto your ring blank. You can also get ring blanks for adults. I'm not just saying they're just for kids, because let's face it, who doesn't want a pom-pom ring? And then, yeah, ta-da, pom-pom ring. Is it final look to be? What is the final look supposed to be? Okay, we are going for this. But there's lots of different, this is just an idea, one idea. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You can use your imagination to your craftiness desire, your creative desire. But I'm just going to show you how to do this one and how to hang it on the wall so you get something that looks like that, which is so cute. But you could just fill them with just pom-poms. You could just do just tassels. You can do Christmas. You can do birthdays, anything. It's just anything. The reason I'm showing you this is that I always come on to Hobbycraft. I say always, I've only done a couple. But when I come on, I run around the house, I show you what I've been making, and then I forget to show you how I made it, because I just assume that, we make things, right? So if I say, oh, you make a pom-pom, people go, I go, yeah, make a pom-pom. But, oh, thank you. Thank you for coming to follow me. That's really kind. But not everyone knows how to make a pom-pom. Got to start somewhere, right? So I've just done that again. It's because I'm chatting like we're mates, like we're long lost friends. Fork, yarn, hold it, fork, put yarn on fork, hold in place with thumb, and start wrapping around all 4 prongs. See, this is where if I go slowly, it goes wrong. Okay, so you want to wrap. You want to do this. I'll show you. I'll show you how much you want to have. You don't want to have too much, but you also don't want to have too little. But once you've made a couple, and because they're so quick to make, once you've made a couple, you'll find your optimum sweet spot. You'll know when to stop, hopefully. Okay. So you want to end up with something that kind of looks like that. Snip your yarn, put your fork down, try not to let it unravel. Again, a nice long piece of yarn, snip, fold in half, like so, ta-da. And this time we're going to thread it through the middle prong. So this has got 3 gaps. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to thread this looped bit through the middle. Okay, I'm going to have to really concentrate so I can't show you up close. Bear with. Put that through there. Okay, so it goes like that. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Like that. Okay, so now you've got your looped end. Take your 2 ends up and put them through the middle at the top. So you're coming round. And exactly how we did with the pom-pom maker, fingers through the loop, grab your ends and pull them tight. Wrench it. You can kind of wrench it tight, like this. And then you get something that looks like a little bow. And that is what you're going for. You want it to go super, super tight in the middle so it looks like a little bow tie. And then do exactly the same as we did with the pom-pom maker. Tie it nice and tight, like super, super, super tight so it doesn't slip out. This is a good yarn for that as well because it's quite, it doesn't really slip against itself. In fact, it's perfect pom-pom yarn. Oh, I have a cold. That's probably why my voice sounds so warm and gravelly. There you go, look. Okay, now, this is the bit where if you haven't secured this properly, it can go wrong. Okay, ready? So we just slide it off and then it makes like that. Can you see? With the long ends underneath. Take scissors, good pair of scissors, and you want to, because they're all loops, white probably wasn't the best. We're going to snip these loops. So carefully, keeping your ends out the way. Snip, snip, snip away. No kit needed, just a fork and some yarn. Oh, that's better. The sun has kind of diffused. It was coming tearing in a second ago. Now, again, give it a shake. Again, you're going to end up with something that doesn't look particularly pom-pommy, but with a little bit of snippy snippy, we can, like this. Excuse my super concentrating face. Okay. Let's see. Wouldn't that make a lovely, or, you know what I'm going to do, don't you? Or dangly ones. Oh, come on. We've got to make these now. Come on. Let's all go make these. Necklaces. A whole necklace. Pom-pom ears. Oh, cute. Get out. Make your hat and stick some tiny pom-poms on it. Cute. But that's not why we're here. It may look silly, but I'd completely forgot how to make pom-poms. No, it's one of those things that if you don't do it all the time, your brain just goes, I knew how to do this, but I can't remember. And then you get the fear because, you know, you could be sat there for basically hours. And if you've got kids and you've promised them that you're going to make something, they will sit there and go, so, are you going to make it? Hi. Hello, Lindsay. We're making pom-poms because, I mean, everyone loves pom-poms. So, mini pom-pom, tiny little fork pom-pom to go as part of our cloud. So again, I'm going to split the two ends like so. I'm going to wrap them around the back ones as we did before. I'm going to let this go public afterwards like that, you see. So I've done it around the two. Can you see that? Rather than around the one. And that holds it in place better, and then tie it nice and tight. If you find that they're slipping everywhere, nothing a little bit of a glue gun won't fix. But this is just, you know, you can do it anywhere. Here we go. We're in. Snip the ends. You won't be able to see this. I am set on the floor. Ta-da! Like that. Now look. Oh, it's like a little cloud. Can you see? Oh, just so cute. So cute. So I'd probably make a few more. So the idea is, this one's also been beaten up by my daughter, so if it's sort of a bit flimsy. And also this is where I learned that you tie it around two and not one because they flap around. So the idea is that you fill the top section with pom-poms to make, I know, I love the sound when you cut a pom-pom. It's like the best sound. And then you fill the top to make your cloud. Okay, so let's assume that I've kind of filled in a few more here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the rainbow section, so you can kind of hopefully see what I mean by the tassels. With the P, it has this bit across the middle, which made it super easy to do all the colours from, like that. It just made it really, really, really easy. Yes, you could make loads and loads of pom-poms and put them on your trees. I mean, or you can make a pom-pom garland. So instead of tinsel, or, okay, hold the phone. Get tinsel yarn, which I know that Knitcraft do, Hobbycraft. Get your tinsel yarn, make pom-poms with your tinsel yarn, put it on a string and wrap it around your tree. Pom-pom tinsel for your Christmas tree. Okay, it's quite a few months away. Hold it together. I get very overexcited when I make. I'm quite passionate about making. It's slightly overexcited. And I get very carried away. May have noticed. Right, okay. We're making the pom-pom cloud. We've finished making the pom-pom cloud. With the P though, it has the bit that goes along, and as you'll notice, it doesn't with the C. So I'm going to just put a bit of yarn nice and tightly around here that we can then hang our tassels from, and hopefully that will help. So I'm just going to use a little bit of white to do that. As I am making this up as I go along, forgive me if this doesn't go well. I am going to put it across the back, because again I'm going to do my tassels across the back. So I'm going to, there's a natural one here holding it together here, so I'm going to go above there so it stops it sliding down. That's my first thought. And then I was going to do, as I did with the pom-poms, take a piece and then sort of put it nice and tight like that. What do we think? That should do the job. Why not? Let's see. Who knows? The crazy, crazy world of making. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just going to tie it up. Let's just tie it up. Just tie it up. I mean, you know, just pom-poms, isn't it? It's pom-poms and tassels. I feel like I have already found a problem. No, hang on, I've got an idea. If I put that in the middle, no, that's not going to do it either. Hang on. I'm just going to wrap that around there to secure it. So I'm wrapping it around here. So I've sort of tried to tie it. Then I realised I had ends. So now I'm going to wrap it around here so it doesn't slip and slide out of itself. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Cut that. There we go. Okay, so this is going to act as my, oh, it's quite tight. When I did the first one, and I put it up on my Instagram page ages ago, somebody said to me, you could, if you did your weft, because your weft goes up left to right, and your warp is like warp speed, and that goes straight ahead. Okay, so if you did your weft, and that's like proper technical speak and everything, that's like proper jargon. Basically, what they mean is, if you do the bit across in yarn, you could weave a whole letter. I mean, that would look, especially if you did the whole lot, so it was like just a woven like that. Yes, see, do the whole name. You could do all sorts, like each letter different colours. Oh my, please tag me in that. Okay, so rainbow. So now I've created like my own little bit to hang from. We want to go the rainbow, but that way, don't we? So we want to start with red. And this is where I've got the shiny dancer. Here it is. So I'm using Hey Baby mainly, which is available at Hobbycraft, but they don't have red in Hey Baby, but that's okay because they do have red in Shiny Dancer, and I like it because it's pearlescent and it's super soft, but it's got a similar kind of halo to Hey Baby, so it won't look too out of place. The only thing that's slightly different is that it's got the pearlescent and slightly thicker, slightly heavier weight. So the way I'm doing this is just as we were tying a pom-pom, I'm making a length that I want to start with, cutting it like that. So I fold it in half over my finger and cut it. Take my letter, and I am going to take my loop and put it up round this bit that I've had to create to sort of mirror this. So I've got something to attach my yarn to. The yarn is so good and so soft. And again, so this is going to be hard to do. Wrap it round, so you've got it through there. Put your fingers through, can you see? Fingers through, grab the ends and pull. And then it will just hang like that, can you see? Like that. And then what you want to do is you just build it up. So I'll probably do 3 or 4 of those in red and then move along. So let's do that again. It takes a lot longer when you're talking about it rather than just doing it. So you fold it in half, wrap it round so it goes in front. Take the loop, put your fingers through the loop. I can't know if you see. Take the ends, grab the ends, pull them through the loop like that, and then pull tight like that. Can you see? And it's just tassels. I mean, you could do like an ombre effect because you could do different layers. So you could do that, and then you could do another colour behind another colour. So keep going. Also, you could use any kind of yarn. You can use anything, any kind of yarn for this as well. I've just chosen these colours. They were in my stash. They're available at Hobbycraft. I love this yarn, but you can use anything. I recommend something quite fine because it gives a nice drape. Cotton's also very good. So I'm just going to keep building that up. So there we go, it's got some more red. I'll do one more red and then I'm going to move on to yellow. And then hopefully just keep going. So like this. And again, wrap it round. I don't know if you can see, you can't see. I've done a few. Right, that's my red. Like that. Okay. And now I'm going to do yellow. So fold it in half, snip my length. I want to try and get the length the same, but it doesn't matter because at the end you can trim it. Like this, loop, take your loop, wrap it around there, fingers through, and slide it along. There you go, so we're already starting to build it up. This is the same technique, so in the stories for Hobbycraft, if you go over to their stories, I did a big wall hanging. It's huge, by the way, that wall hanging. I can never get the proportions right, so you can't really tell how big it is, but that's one big branch. And you do the same thing, cut your length in half and just wrap it round your branch and take the ends and pull it through in exactly the same way. Super simple. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So hands up if you'd like me to show you how to do a pom-pom again before I go, and then what I'm going to do is I'll finish this behind the scenes. I'll post pictures of it finished on Hobbycraft, and I'll also put this up as well, so you can come back to it for 24 hours and then it's gone, like that. Okay, so are these hands up for pom-poms? Okay, using the pom-pom maker or the fork? So I'll put that to one side. So I'll do a mini pom-pom because it won't take so long. So a mini pom-pom maker. Excuse me, I've got a cold. This is the itsy bitsy baby one. And you want to, these are the locks on the ends. So you've got the holes and then you've got these kind of like domes, and you want to put them together like that. And that stops it from sliding about. Okay, so hold it like that. So now you've got like a M for maker. I'm using white, aren't I, because I'm making clouds. Take your yarn. I'm going to show you how to do double ends. So I've taken it from the middle of my ball of yarn and I've taken it from the outside, because that way it works up twice as quick. Okay, so you've got your for maker. Hold your yarn in place with your finger, just pinch it in place and then wrap your two yarn ends together. Once you started wrapping, it makes it so less fiddly because it starts to hold it in place. Like this. Just talk amongst yourselves. You just keep going like this. There's a couple of top tips actually when making pom-poms with a pom-pom maker. Here's one. Stop there. Can you see how full that is at the bottom? Anything more than that, when it starts to bulge at the bottom, that's a bad sign. Okay, so stop when this bit, this hole here is full. Can you see? Okay, now moving it over to the other side. Turn it round, bring your yarn over, and just carry on. Just wrap, 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 wrap. Like that. Da, 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 da. I will show you my scissors in a second, because scissors are actually quite important as well in pom-pom making. You want the fun embroidery ones seem to be too small and can be quite blunt, not very good for pom-poms. You need a really good pet, right? So see how that's kind of full, slightly bulging. I mean, I'm pushing it there. Okay, and then snip. Tuck your ends in and close in half like that, so the ends are sticking up like that, you see? And then you've got these locks, so you want to push it super tight, squish it, and then lock, lock. Okay, and that will hold everything in place. So you can put that down and go and find your scissors. I've got 2 pairs of scissors that I use for pom-pom making, because depending on the pom-poms, sometimes they like to play along and sometimes they don't. I've got these, which I think are also like little garden shears that you can use for home inside plants. Silly question. Is it mandatory to move one side of the semicircle to the other? Yes. Otherwise, you don't get the full round. You only get half a round. It won't be full enough. You'll find that your pom-pom will be left quite spiky. You'll have shorter ends at one end, longer ends at the other of the pom-pom. You need to make the whole round. Does that make sense? Because these bits at the side are actually going to be longer than these bits up here. Once you start to, anyway. So you have got these little scissors, and these I think you can get from garden centres as well, which are like indoor plant ones. I think the clover one, well, clover should have the lock bits. I did not know that they didn't do that. Anyway, they might fall off as well. They do tend to sort of ping off. So if you've had them a while, and they can come, like I've got a set here and I've only got one on there. Or you can have these titanium scissors as well. I think that Hobbycraft they don't just do just clover, because I think the clover ones are slightly curved, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they do these as well, because these are the ones that I always recommend. And when I was doing Knitcraft socials at Hobbycraft, I would say to people, these are the ones that you want to get. Titanium scissors, these are my go-to, and so are these. So make a little start. So you want to start at the end, like here. The smaller the thing, the harder it is going to be to start, because you've got to try and get your scissors in there. So you're putting it in between, and you want to cut in between the 2 halves, like that. Oh, what's a good noise? Slide it through. If you make a lot of these, get scissors with really good handles as well, because otherwise you're going to get blisters or cramp. Oh, it's a good noise. And it goes like that. And then again, grab your piece of yarn. No, that's not going to do it. I was trying to be economical with my yarn then. A nice long length. Long. Even if you don't need long lengths, it's good to have a long length, because if you're sewing your pom-pom onto something, it leaves you with a nice long length, a long tail to then sew it onto, so you don't have to then do a whole nother thing. Try not to cut them off. Do you know what? I have no idea. I've had these for years and years and years and years, probably 12 years. These came as part of a Little Box Crochet box. So maybe go and ask Amanda at Little Box Crochet, or get yourself a Little Box Crochet and it might have them in. I usually do come with these, because these are like, every project needs scissors, right? Right. But I have seen them in garden centres. I mean, they might not be the same thing, but they look pretty much the same thing. Okay, take your piece of yarn, fold it in half. Now that you've got these, like, can you see that there's 2 sides? You want to line your yarn up through the middle, like this. Can you see, look, if I do that? Both pieces, it goes round. And you hear that clicking noise. Hang on, she says. Click. No, it's not doing it. That's annoying. Maybe we'll do it on this side. Yeah, we'll do it on this side. Hang on. bear with. So again, and this is like, I do this for pretty much everything. Take the ends, put it through the loop, pull, and then, oh no, it won't, you can't hear it click because it's not big enough. Sometimes when you've got a big one, it clicks when it goes over the lumps, and you want that, because then you know that you're getting right into the centre, and you want to pull it really tight. Take your ends, separate them, give another little pull for luck, and tie it in place, like so. One, and then turn it over and do the same on the other side. Two, like that, okay? Are you with me so far? Does this make sense? I hope I'm not rushing. I'm kind of rushing because I am aware that that I'm on a time limit. Okay, so now you unlock. It's like a magic trick, isn't it? Unlock. And then you separate them like so, like that. Pop it out. And this one is slightly bigger than if I hold it here, you can see that it's like a medium size. So you've got your fork pom-pom here, and then this is like your average size pom-pom maker, and then you've got this kind of smaller one here. And again, don't think that this is, you know, a complete pom-pom. I remember when I made my first pom-pom with a pom-pom maker, being incredibly disappointed that it wasn't absolutely perfect as soon as it came out. I was like, well, this is no good. What am I supposed to do with this? Trim it is the answer. So, like, I just want something to do the work for me to complete finish. Like, I want it to be absolutely perfect when it comes out. Says a lot about me, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm trimming. I'm just making it pretty. Like so. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? That's so cute. And now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to tie it on as I did before. Separate the ends. Pop them around both pieces of the wire letter. The outside edges, perhaps. Maybe that's a little bit clearer. It's reminding me a little bit of the girls are really, really into My Little Pony at the moment. So this is kind of reminding me of that. Maybe that's why I'm doing everything in rainbow colours, because that's all we're watching at the moment is My Little Pony. Okay. Oh, like a little cloud starting to build up. And you can do lots of them. Like that, see? Oh, it just needs a little trim. Give him a little trim. Come here. Pop you up there. Like that. So, this is the idea, is that it's going to build up to be this. You see? So lots and lots of pom-poms for the clouds, and then it's going to have tassels for its rainbow. So I'm going to carry on making that behind the scenes, and I'll post pictures, and I'll keep this up live so you can come back to it and let you know that. So it kind of shows you how to do it. So what I'll do is I'll go along here, and then I'll start to add the yarn down here. So it starts to build up along here and along here. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that answers some questions. Did you want me to do the fork pom-pom before I go? Hands up. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Any fork pom-poms? Do it again. Put that there. Otherwise, I'm going to head off and go and finish. Oh, okay. Fork. Take your fork. You want a nice, good fork. Try not to use a plastic fork because it will break. This is good for kids' crafts as well. But careful that they jab each other with it. I'm just talking about my girls. Right, so you have that. Like this is a really good one because the outside bits of the fork don't move, and that's a good thing. Okay, so take the end of your yarn and basically pinch it. I hold it on. I've realised that this is just the technique that I have picked up after making these for many, many times. This isn't like the actual official, there isn't a fork pom-pom authority that makes sure that everyone does it in exactly the same way. You may find a different way of holding your yarn. I'm just saying this is how I've kind of evolved. Hold yarn on fork. Wrap yarn round fork. It is the best thing ever. So if like you're making pom-pom authority, they need to have like, maybe they wear pom-pom hats. Like, you know, like pom-pom police. Maybe there is a pom-pom police. Maybe we should start the pom-pom. Okay, getting carried away. So keep wrapping around. I've completely lost my train of thought as well. Like this. Okay. That's probably good. Any more than that, and you might be going a little bit crazy. Snip. You can put this down carefully. If you've done it nice and tight, it shouldn't unravel. Again, nice long piece of yarn. Snip. So you've folded it in half. So you've got a loopy end and a taily end. Taking your loop end, oh, that almost went really wrong. Okay, you've got these gaps here, 1, 2, 3. So your fork might have different, but mine has 3. Should have 3 if it's got 4 prongs. Yes. Take your loop end and the quality of your wool, you want something quite fine, especially if you're making really, really small pom-poms. I recommend not using cotton for very small pom-poms because cotton will be quite stiff and then all your sticky outy bits just like that, they don't sort of fluff together. This is Hey Baby from Hobbycraft, and as you can see, it makes really lovely soft pom-poms. So you want something quite fine, especially for much smaller pom-poms, and you want something that's quite strong. So this is an acrylic nylon mix, which is good, and it's a baby weight. Is there a tip for getting them rounded on the fork? I will show you this. I will show you. Right, you basically you just want to build up more in the middle than the sides is a good thing, or equal, I suppose. I mean, there's no real top trick. It's just they come out. Okay, so you've got your loop. You want to go through the middle hole. Now, I might need to concentrate for this bit. So pop that through the middle, like so. Yes! First time, can you see in the middle? Pull that through, and then again, through the middle, like that. And take your ends and pull the ends through the loop. So you have something. Hang on, I'm trying to make this a little clearer. I'm sat on the floor because it's the only bright place in the house. Right, so you have something that looks like that, and it's going through the middle, and then you pull that nice and tight. I hold the sides on when I do this because it does have a tendency, if you're getting over carried away, you can just pull the whole thing off, and that makes it incredibly tricky to try and salvage. You can, but it's not fun, whereas this is much more fun. Okay, so what you want to do is pull that nice and tight so you've got something that looks like a little bow tie, and you want to tie that as well. So once you've got it nice and tight, you want to tie that a couple of times. So separate your ends and tie it nice and tightly, super tight. 1, 2, okay. And then slide it, oh, I didn't show you. Slide it off your hook, like that. So you've got something that looks like a little bow tie. These are all looped ends, can you see? They're all looped over. keeping this out of the way because you're going to want this, use your good scissors and find your looped ends and snip around the outside. Da-da-da-da. Give it a shake, like this. Now, that's not very exciting, is it, when it looks like that? But, like all your pom-poms, give them a trim, because that's when the magic happens. So, give them a little do-do-do. And this is where the finer the yarn you have, the prettier your pom-pom will be. So a baby weight yarn for doing mini pom-poms is great. And something that sort of can fluff up and unravel will be great. But not a cotton. Don't be tempted to go for a cotton because it, for some reason, it sort of goes a bit too sticky outy, and when you try to pull the ends in, cotton doesn't really want to doesn't want to squish in the middle, whereas an acrylic wouldn't squish nicely. A cotton is much firmer, and so therefore you don't. It's okay on a much bigger pom-pom. I've made cotton pom-poms on bigger size, but smaller you just don't get that enough of a squish to then give you that fan, so it doesn't floof. It's a good use of the word floof. There we go. So I've done it. I'd love to show you how to make another one, but what I'm going to do is I'll make this available live on on Hobbycraft Insta page, so you can go through again. So it will be towards the end, though I do one kind of in the middle as well. So you can always like check out how I did that. And I will finish the curly curl. I'll finish the C to look like a rainbow with a cloud, and then I'll post that up on the Hobbycraft and remind you that it's over there on the stories, but it'll only last for 24 hours. Though you can come and follow me at make.e on Instagram for lots of yarny makes and occasionally totally off piece makes with Vimo and other things. So I might see you there. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun. See you later. Bye.